Hey guys, Spencer here for a very, very long overdue update video. So, for all of you who may not have been following either like social media or whatever, 2023 is not been the most consistent year for me, let alone this channel or the podcast. So, first off, I want to start off by apologizing for how inconsistent the podcast has been, doing editorials, any reviews, stuff like that. Even live streams have been really all over the place. And just a lot of that has been up to I had to pretty much go from working a single day job to working like 3 jobs altogether and trying to have any meaning of a life besides that. Spoilers, 3 jobs, don't recommend it. I'm slowly kind of transitioning out of that phase now, finally, after like 4 months, but just a couple of updates I kind of wanted to let you all know about the channel, the podcast, and things that are coming up this year with it. Because thankfully it's not all grim news, but I just felt super overdue for doing an update with all of you guys. So just because I miss doing this, I miss talking to the community as often as I did, because the whole point of doing the weekly podcast is the best way to keep the community updated with whatever's going on. So let's just start with the podcast. So the podcast weekly is coming back. My plan is it's either going to start this week or at the very least May for sure will be the start of weekly. And I'm going to start that by having at least a couple of shows locked in and edited that might not necessarily be like super time specific, because there's really not been a ton of news, and basically lock in those conversations, get those ready, and kind of give more wiggle room, because right now I'm still working 2 jobs and in the process of either maybe moving, not sure if I'm moving, don't want to move, but that's its own whole thing. But just in case summer ends up being crazy or if things get delayed, I want to at least always make sure I have at least like 1 or possibly 2 shows ready if there's not a timely news topic to have to jump in and talk about. So that's going to help. But yeah, May for sure, we're locking it in. Weekly podcast returning for SMT Network. Videos, I want to try and get to at least doing 1 scripted either video, preview, editorial, something, review. There's been so many things I want to talk about, but I mean, if I'm being honest, I think this month will probably be Tears of the Kingdom, just because I'm such a huge Zelda fan, and I don't really actually talk about Zelda all that much on this show or even this channel, so I'll probably do some stuff with Zelda because it's Tears of the Kingdom, everyone's excited about it, but not really the most important thing. But back to SMTN, I do have some updates in terms of conventions. So this month, NakaCon, if you're in the Kansas City, Overland Park area, I will be there hosting 2 panels as of now. I'm going to be hosting both of them on Saturday, so if you're one of those people who only go 1 day, they'll both be on Saturday. My first panel, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Final Fantasy turning 35, and then my second panel will be Shin Megami Tensei turning 30. So that'll be a little bit of everything in terms of what I'm doing there in terms of just panels, but not like anything too hyper specific. But the really big news, and I've talked about this a little bit but haven't really had a chance on a proper podcast, is we are going to Anime Expo. I've never been to Anime Expo. I've been to LA before, but I've never gone to any of the AXs out there, and pretty much the only reason I'm really doing it this time, even though Atlas has had presence out there, has just been they're doing this big 30th anniversary Shin Megami Tensei concert. I was like, okay, how expensive could it be? Let's go, said person working too many jobs. But I was like, this is such a special opportunity of getting a chance to go out there, cover the concert, talk to all these people who are coming in from all over the world to this one convention for this one concert, that I thought this was such a perfect opportunity. And especially too, because there's so many people also who just in general go to AX, and it's been a convention I've always wanted to go to, but just because of how prohibitively expensive it all is, it's just been a thing of just like, man, if I could make it happen, this is the year. I really want to just suck it up, get 3 mortgages, 9 student loans, and make it happen, which is what we're trying to do at the moment. So good news, no matter what, I will be at AX. I do have tickets for AX. I do have tickets for the concert. And even better, I actually just heard back from them recently, but there is going to be a official Shin Megami Tensei panel held by us, me, and everyone else who ends up coming. But yeah, we will be hosting a SMT panel at Anime Expo 2023, which is going to be really, really wild, because I've never done a panel out there. And, well, I'm sure it's not like going to be like one of the crazy, ginormous ballrooms or whatever. It's just a cool opportunity to be able to, go cover this concert and the convention, and then also get to do this panel and see as many of you guys out there as possible, because a lot of the shows and stuff I've done have mostly all been Midwest, and like the farthest we've gone out to the coast has been like Arizona. So this will be a great opportunity. If you are going to Anime Expo, please let me know in the comments below. Even if you're not, as always, I will record everything I do. And again, that's a big part of why I want to go. There are so many friends and industry guests and people out there who I would love to just actually have a sit-down talk with while I'm out in LA, which would be so much easier, because, hey, you want to sit down for like 5 or 10 minutes? That's way easier than let's talk online, let's get a group call going, let's make sure this interview time slot works out. Being in person at conventions, ironically, makes it infinitely easier for setting something up, especially when it's a lot of people I already know. So, final little docket here, and hopefully, I really don't want this to sound like too bad or whatever with it, but please let me know if it does. I did open up donations again with it. Obviously, SMTN has always had the Patreon, so if you go to patreon.com/SMTN, you've always been able to donate as much or as little as you wanted. And ever since, what is it, I think 2 or 3 months ago, I've been using all of the funds from the Patreon to kind of like contribute. I need to like actually print this out, because I do want to just start scribbling it in. We have like a little fundraiser for SMTN. If you want to help the SMTN funds get to AX, basically the cost of everything, I've put it out there with 2 people guaranteed for covering of going out there, traveling, and what was the other one? Staying. I was like, oh yeah, what do you do when you have to stay somewhere? Yeah, so basically room, flight, and general hilarious expensiveness of LA. I like buried it down to its bare minimum, and it still sounds really, really crazy, but also like I guess not as awfully awful. But I have a stupid goal in mind. It's not a, hey, we're not going if we don't reach it, but if anyone out there feels like they want to help, or just want to know what the Patreon goal is going to be going to until July, it is a $2,000 goal. Right now, I would say with individual donations and Patreon, it's probably at around $250, and still a shy way away, but still an awesome amount of support that I cannot honestly express enough gratitude for. But if you're out there and you're listening and you're like, hey, I'd love to support with like a one-time donation, I don't use Patreon, I don't use PayPal, or here's my only options. I have 3 ways to donate. Like I said, Patreon is a good one. It's reoccurring. You'd get benefits for the show. But yeah, that's patreon.com/SMTN. But that is reoccurring, so not really the best for one-time billing. And then I have for the other 2 options, it's going to be Venmo. Venmo is just at Torchwood4SP. All the links will be down below, but if you want, it's just at Torchwood4SP. And then you can just send it that way. If you want to include your name, awesome. I'm going to have a list, so everyone who does end up either donating or supporting on Patreon, there's going to be a big, like, thank you present I'm going to send each and every one of you guys, just because I don't ever expect nothing in return, even in the case of, like, hey, help us go out, because, again, it's not going to be a vacation going to AX. We're going to go there for AX, leave as soon as AX is done, and everything I do there is pretty much just going to be covering, recording, and editing us at Anime Expo. I'm not hanging out. There will be 0 beach time, unfortunately, when we go to LA. So the last one is PayPal. So PayPal is easiest link I made for that one was just paypal.me/Spencer Presley. So you're watching this on YouTube, so it's just the same way my name is spelled, but all the links will be below anyway. But I wanted to make this update. We're almost at the 10-minute mark, so I believe we can make it. But if you'd like to help donate, that would mean the world to me. And I will not let it go on deaf ears. Every little bit helps. If you can't donate, that's totally fine as well. Listening to the show has always helped. All AdSense revenue is also going to the donation fund. I know we're a long ways off until July in terms of getting everything at the 2,000 mark, but I figured it doesn't hurt to try. hopefully shouldn't hurt to try. Hopefully the reception's not incredibly bad or whatever. But yeah. Thank you all so much, though, for sticking with me. Like I said, this year has been so not fun for me personally. I've learned a lot about myself in ways of like, wow, yeah, boy, never think it's as bad as it can be, because it can always find ways to be worse or whatever. But the one thing that's always really motivated me has just been trying to get back to that norm, because man, I really missed making stuff for you guys, recording podcasts for all of you, talking to all of you, being more active. Like even little things of just like not getting to be as active on Twitter or Discord or Facebook with the community. I miss that. It's really lonely of just like, yeah, I'm working and I can't be on my phone. And then when I'm done working, I go to another job where I can't really be on my phone. So I miss hanging out with you guys. I miss talking with you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, if you're not able to help, if you're not able to donate, you watched this. This helps. Sharing the podcast helps. Sharing the videos help. Every little bit of interaction helps, even if you never get to donate to SMTN financially at all. Everything helps. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good rest of your week. And I will hopefully see you this week as we talk about... Let's see, I can tease what the next podcast is going to be. It's either going to be one of two topics. One of them is a secret, but the other one is going to be about physical games and Sega/Atlas. So, and not in a bad way, like in like a good news way, kind of. So, I will see you all later. Have a good rest of your week, and I will see you all soon? Question mark? I was gonna think about like maybe like an Anime Expo like outro, but then it seemed more weird because that's really far off. But either way, oh yeah, I said NakaCon's this month. Like, it's like in 2 or 3 weeks. It's at the end of May. So if you're in Kansas, end of May, NakaCon. That's the soonest I'll probably see most of you in person. So, bye everybody. See ya.